Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I got a little bit of a surprise for you. I was going to make one big video and I just decided that I need to make two separate videos. But today the surprise is going to be a little something that I would say would be one of my favorite jobs on the farm from when I was younger with my grandpa. The item I'm going to be showing you today, my grandpa bought brand new in the late 1960s. It's probably one of the most dangerous jobs on the farm, I would say. Growing up, when we used to go to church back in the 90s, I still knew a lot of old farmers that were missing arms from this particular piece of equipment. Now, there are a lot of dangerous jobs on the farm today from, really silos really aren't even as common as they used to be, so you don't hear as often of people dying from getting gassed in silos, and a lot of the new choppers have a lot of safety equipment on it, to protect people from getting caught in them. But the particular item I'm going to show you guys today that I'm working on here for this fall, I'm hoping to play around with. It's something that not most people do anymore. It's not very common in the area anymore. And without further ado, I've got the original operator manuals here in my hand. It is a New Idea number 324 gathering unit and number 325 8-roll husking bed, corn picker. These are the original manuals my grandpa got with it. Some of them are ate up a little bit. Like on the back here, they had some different, things that they had back then. I guess they even had a corn grinding unit available for the back of these, as well as the shelling unit. And I even have the book here on the husking bed. It has a separate book. So without further ado, this is me pulling the picker out of the barn, tinkering with it. I pulled it in the barn. It sat outside for a few years. Should have never let that happen. And since then, it hasn't picked any corn, but I've lubricated all the chains. I've greased it. So it has sat in the barn here. I've run it several times, just haven't picked corn with it. All right, well, I did something smart for the change. Instead of figuring out how to jack that up, I decided, you know what? They make this screw adjustable. So let's just adjust that, and then I'll pick the hitch up to the tractor. So, I'm going to get the jack, I'm going to roll it under there. Alright, I got her blocked up once, and I need to get a block. I was not quite high enough to get to the drawbar there, so should have plenty this time. It'll be time to pull this old thing out with a flat tire. There we go. Should have plenty. I haven't picked corn with this since I think 2014 or 2015. Oops, running my mouth went, that should be about right. We'll see what happens here. Need a concrete floor. Well, tire on the left-hand side's a little low, but I'm going to pull it up and air it up, and obviously that one's completely blown. But I can get it pulled out of the barn. I'll probably block it up outside so I can work on getting that off and putting the tire on it. That's not as important to me right now as getting the corn head out, so I'll get it outside and then probably move this stuff out of the way and get the corn head out. She's toast. Last time I aired it up when I put it in the barn, it literally exploded in my face, but fortunately this was on here and I had my arm in here, and well, it sure hurt my ears for a few seconds. I can't remember offhand what model this is. Don't know, that's just a caution. That's not the serial. Oh, there's a serial plate number. I know it's an 8-roll husking bed, a 326 husking bed. Now the actual picker, I think, has a separate serial tag on it somewhere. I'll have to look for it here after a bit. I know we've got the original books for it. Grandpa bought it brand new, so shouldn't be a problem to figure out what model it is. I'm sure it's on here somewhere. Probably right in front of my face too, but anyhow, I'm sure I'll find it. I am going to put a little air in this tire, and hopefully it, you know, doesn't decide to blow up in my face like that last one did, because she is a little flat. Oh, she's definitely flat. Nice thing about having steel-toed shoes is I can stick the GoPro on them. These tires, they make them, but they're specialty and they're tractor tread and they're ridiculously expensive. So I'd just rather put a 20, well, I don't have any 22.5s to put on it, but I do have a 20. Well, I don't even, 750 24s. Oops. Yeah, about 30. I think that'll be plenty for me for right now. Well, I haven't run this thing in quite a while. It's been at North Star getting worked on. I honestly haven't driven it since last fall because some ice got into it and ruined a wiring harness, and it was inoperable for a while. I don't know what's in them boxes. Oh, R65s aren't even for me. I'll be damned. Alright, well, I'm gonna figure out where we're at over here. Oh, they didn't put that back on. Well, that should be there. There we go. So, let's see here. Where's the button? Huh. I know there's a button in here somewhere. Oh yeah, this has never worked since I've had it. Ooh, spiffy. Watch, it'll come up and hit that door and bust the glass. Ooh, about did. So my camera died yesterday. I did end up finding the gathering unit serial tag up here in the front. So got Kenny with me today. Oh, he's got his little squinty face going on, don't you? We're gonna go for a ride on the tractor, aren't we? You trying to get on a tractor? Good pick. You can't crawl up on that one though. So a thing about these corn pickers I'm finding is that there's not really any good place to jack up on them with like a regular, you know, rolly floor jack like over there. So using an old bottle jack, blocking it up, getting it up as high as it can go, and then putting some blocking and a jack stand underneath it. And as you can tell, the jack stands all the way up there because the picker decided to roll off the blocks and roll back on me about when I had it where I wanted. So I got smart and I hooked the tractor onto it so it shouldn't roll, and this other tire's blocked. But I don't know if Grandpa ever changed these tires or if these are the original picker tires, but it looks kind of like a bear to change. I don't know if I can just take the bolt out there and there'll be enough slop in that galvanized shield to get the tire out, or if I have to go up and unscrew and take the whole side panel off. But I see a lot of these pickers running without them, but I figure if they're on there for a reason. And Grandpa has owned this picker probably since 1968 and it's still on there, so I figure if it's been on there that long, I'll put it back on. So I'll check back with you here when I get this thing up in the air, and hopefully it won't roll off the jack and fall again. Well, that came out easy enough, but I don't think there's any way I'm getting it out of there. I'm gonna have to undo the bracket down there and this up here, and then hopefully it'll move enough. If not, the next thing after that would would be to undo all of these screws down through here, which looks like it's more of a two-person job. There's still some oil on the threads. I'm surprised by that. That one's kind of dry. One more. Now, see if it'll come off. Oh, I figured I was going to have to beat on it with a hammer. Huh. Lucky for me, I guess. Every now and then we get a stroke of good luck, which I've been having some pretty good luck here on this project. So I wonder how long we have until that runs out. I can be kind of a pessimist. Yeah, she's flat. I got a truck tire to put over here, and I kind of wonder if it's all going to fit in there. And then this side panel will still have room not to rub on it. So if that doesn't work, I don't know what I'm going to do. Might have to spend $400 some odd on some tractor tread tire to go on that, because that's the only one that's the 750/24 they offer anymore. At least that I found when I was looking for a tire last time. Alright, something's definitely going on weird here. I usually don't have very good luck with anything, but for some reason, I got this almost right at the perfect height to get everything lined up. And it does appear to look like it's going to work. And I don't think this is going to rub on it, but we'll see. In worst case scenario, I imagine I could put some washers and stuff to push out the bottom of the panel and kind of go from there. So I'm going to get this tire on and see what happens. And if it works, I think I got another one of these in the barn. It's not as nice, but the other side would be immensely easier to change than this side, so we'll see. Well, this is going much easier than I thought. I mean, I don't have the most clearance, but I don't think it's going to rub on it. The telltale sign will be when I do this one, which even pushing it up tight, it's still not rubbing. I like these a lot better than those narrow guys. Still can't get, 20-inch tires anymore, but I imagine they'd be easier to find than that, and more cost, not as cost prohibitive. But I'm missing a chain here. I think I've got one in the barn, and I would say that these need adjusted. I assume they're supposed to stay on the actual track there, so I need to adjust the tension on both of those. And then, let's see here. That's just full of gunk down there. I can shop vac that out. I don't believe there's a hole through it. And then, Grandpa replaced it with a piece of tin down there, but the part that goes underneath is pretty well shot. And if I remember right, there is a place you can buy replacement ones. I'm not looking to get too excited for no more corn than I'm going to pick, but what corn I do pick, I don't want dribbled out in the field. So after that, I don't know if I'm going to pick with the 8010 or the old John Deere. Probably the 8010, because this thing has some quirks that need addressed on it before it gets used in the field. But at any rate, that went much easier than I thought, and I should have a same size wheel I can replace this one with. That way the picker sits level. But if it was a little bit cocked, I mean, if anything, I would assume it just has the husking bed cocked a little bit more, so that way maybe it'll feed in here a little bit better. Some of these guys are a little jank and ruined. I don't want to know what those cost. And as you can see, the coons have had a field day in here pooping on everything, but I'll get that all cleaned out. one tiny tire, one big tire. But seems to work. I've greased this the last 2 times I played with it, and I didn't run any corn through it. And I lubricated all the chains. That's why they're still nice and shiny. I will probably go through the operator manual and look it over real good and adjust those chains, try to find another chain. The bottom of the deal here, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. If I'm going to try and do another tin can repair on it for now, just to get by and play with it a year and see what I've got, or see what a new piece would cost. But at any rate, I think it's, you know, I could go to the field and attempt to pick and find out that it doesn't work or it works. I had trouble with it last time. These rolls here, we got 3 or 4 loads picked, and then this outside row, it just kept, it would not do anything. I don't know if it was the corn, but it kept going up and getting wrapped around the back sprocket. I've been told that after so many years, the snapping rolls will get smooth and they can't grab onto the corn as well. And I kind of wonder if that's the case, because it worked fine until they shined up. I was told that you can put welds on them and it helps it grab more. And I know that there's some option where they can put pins in to help it grab, but I don't think that would be a very good idea, considering that's all those holes are probably all plugged full of stuff, and I'd have to chase every single one before I put, assuming I could even find the parts. Looking at this, I can see down there that that is getting rotted out. So, like I said, just be fun to play with it, maybe 2 or 3 loads. And then I have an outlet to get rid of the corn. Well, not really get rid of it. I have a dairy cow at a buddy's farm, and he will use the ear corn to feed some heifers. Well, I have a dairy cow and a heifer, so it won't go to waste, and it won't be all for just screwing around. It does have a purpose. So, and then if I get cattle again, which I would like to, but with the cattle market, it's not very likely anytime soon, but I would love to pick corn and fill a crib again. And I've got the old Case IH feed grinder back there. I can grind my own feed again, which is what I did about 10 years ago until, well, I got out of cattle. So there's that.